Hello, my darlings. Good evening, and welcome to our Vampire the Masquerade Chronicle ATL by Night, Chapter 4, Meanwhile. Let's welcome our special guests for this evening.
I'm Judson Ragsdale, and I'm playing the role of Ashton Murdoch Justiniani.
Hey everybody, I'm Raya Sunshine, and I'm playing Seamstress.
Hi everybody, I'm Salem Scharff, and I'm playing everyone's favorite busty witch bitch, Eseme Leroux.
I'm Evan Ivey, and I'm playing Talbot Rourke, your dead king.
And I'm your storyteller, Ellie Collins. Don't forget to check out our ad at the mid-roll for Camp Gehenna. We still have cabins left for it, so you can go to campgehenna.com to register for this immersive survival horror LARP event. So without further ado, let's sit back and relax, and let's tell an Atlanta story.
Rumor has it, I'm a savage, drop the classic, thinking back, drop the classic, to establish that the magic, it's automatic, gotta mask it, who was at it, living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind, never tied, tell them all. Big dreams, I got big dreams since like baby. I've been joining forces with the likes of an A-team. Jumping off of buildings used to be so stimulating. Now I'm reaching new heights, I'ma need the off-whites. Play with the fire, you get burned. All of my struggles became lessons well learned. I got desires that keep me grounded, that's for sure. Cause one day we gon' make it out this earth, where's your worth? I'm sick of your talking, you got the wrong one. I'm taking your king and I leave him broken. If I am in second, it's after no one. Just give me a second to let them know. I'm the headline, the deadline. Big time. I'm ahead time, the rare kind. Big time. I'm a living legend, lethal weapon, mastermind. Big time.
We start tonight with Seamstress. Your dear friend Tilly is being held at her home, staked. There is a guard out front, assigned by the prince, but that's never kept you from things before.
Yeah, I was about to say, do I recognize this guard?
You just recognize it as a man who has worked for the prince before. He's got the same kurta on, just a younger Indian man, maybe mid-20s. But you've seen him with her, but it's not her right-hand man.
Would he be missed?
Greatly. But currently he is on the front porch.
Can I, find a secluded place to turn myself into the prince?
Yes, you can.
A lot of bone snapping. She doesn't dull the pain for this one.
Okay.
And she will confidently walk up to the front porch and walk in.
Okay. And he does see you. He lowers his head and welcomes you in, opening the door for you. And
I make
closes...
a condescending sound.
Okay. And he closes the door. And you are now in Tilly's home. And for you, this is the first time you've been in this house where it's completely quiet. Normally, Tilly has some kind of music going on. You can faintly hear her ghoul in the kitchen just prepping himself a sandwich. But everyone who normally stays in Tilly's house has been made to temporarily move out.
She's thinking about where exactly they would place her.
Probably likely in her bedroom upstairs.
Then Seamstress will quickly make her way that way, trying to avoid the ghoul.
Okay. And the ghoul is still outside, or the ghoul is staying in the kitchen. You can kind of tell, like he had a moment where he stopped and looked at you and turned back around. It's likely that Alima has come and gone a few times. So for you, nothing impedes this.
Supernaturally fast, I'm making my way towards where I know Tilly is.
Okay. And so when you enter the room, you see Tilly looking exactly as she did at the graduation. The stake is still in her. And she looks... Probably the best description would be tired. Tilly is old, but not quite old enough for the torpor to really change her appearance. And there's nothing else in this room but you and Tilly in a bed. And you know that if you wake her up, she will be hungry.
Do I know her feeding type?
She has a variety of feeding types. You know that personally, she has forced herself to like only animals because she didn't like the idea of hurting people. But you also know from the list of Tilly's war crimes that she's not adverse to a little kindred on kindred violence.
I think Seamstress walks across the room to Tilly.
Okay.
And she unstakes her.
Okay. And so as the stake slides out, you watch as Tilly's eyes flutter open and she gives this reflexive
We have a lot to talk about. Just don't kill me. And she holds out her arm.
and she grabs it and you feel her hesitate for a second before she sinks her teeth in, but she locks her eyes with you and she holds eye contact, making sure to take only 2, enough to sustain her in this moment. So you, as you normally are at 0, will go up to 2 hunger. And she lets go and kind of like, she'll lick the wound so that it knits shut. And she just leans back on her hands and just, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I didn't expect to see you. I'm glad it's you.
Why? Why are you glad it's me? Who else were you expecting? The woman with dark hair?
Yeah, I figured she'd come and finish the job.
This isn't the best place to talk about all this, Tilly. We should leave and get probably back to my hospital.
Okay.
But just know, we will be talking about how you lied to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Let's go.
Okay. And Tilly will take you down a service entrance, like a down through a butler's pantry and a back staircase to lead you out the back of the house. Yeah. And rushing.
Because, yeah, I think Seamstress drove herself here, because,
Yeah.
I mean, she wasn't going to tell anybody else. So she'll find the car that she parked nearby to start heading back to her hospital.
Okay. And you guys make it back pretty easily. Tilly is still a little wobbly on her feet as you guys get in, but it's kind of that she's gaining all senses back. You know, the 2 hunger has made her stable, but she has still been asleep for a while.
I'll help her into the hospital, get her set up in my office on the beautiful couch that I have made of flesh, and hand her Ethel, the pillow. Mm-hmm. And then I'll start getting blood in to feed her more.
Okay. And she easily accepts it.
And Seamstress is very patient, but distant and coldly quiet towards Tilly in these moments until she feels recovered enough to sit up.
Yeah.
On her own.
And she eventually does kind of push herself up and Okay. What do you want to know?
First of all, why didn't you tell me all of these things?
I wanted to forget. I thought if I didn't tell you, it could just go away and I could have new friends that didn't know.
Nothing goes away for us, Tilly.
It can. I've seen Kindred that can make a whole people go away. Doc can do it. Doc can make people forget. I tried to ask her to make me forget, and she said it served me right to remember.
You should remember, Tilly.
You're right.
Not to punish yourself, Tilly, you owe it to the people you hurt to remember what you did to them. Which...
You're right.
I have a second question. Where's Gordon? Where's Gordon?
Gordon's safe. He's with a friend. Her name's Mouse. She's one of the little Nosferatu kids.
I've met her.
She's got a place where she keeps people. I told her she wasn't to do no harm to him, but I just made him go to sleep. And he's not hurt, he's just sleeping. He thinks he's sleeping. And I told her, pour a little blood in his mouth every now and then so he don't wake up. But he's safe. He started talking about too many things, and I know who he was. I adored him. I thought he was like a pop star to me when I was a kid. Back down in Nassau, he was one of the most feared pirates, but he was nice to us kids. He'd always bring me a taffy. But he was a bad man. He was a very bad man, and I've seen the ships that come back after crossing him. And if that man's starting to figure me out, I don't know what he'd do to me. I just couldn't risk it.
Tilly, do you have any idea what's happening in Atlanta right now?
No, I've been asleep.
I mean before that.
I know what the princess told me. I know we got bad Second Inquisition stuff going on. But nobody understands. Eseme's in town. Nobody knows how wicked she can be. She tried to take my girl from me. And she tried to take my power from me. There's things I can do that I've never showed you. Things that I'm not proud that I can do, and so I hadn't done it in a long time. And then when it happened at the graduation, I knew she was back.
I think Seamstress at this point moves over to sit next to Tilly and just kind of wraps her like slightly too long arms around Tilly into a hug and just kind of whispers to her, I've already told you, this woman is nothing to be afraid of.
And Tilly's gonna lean into you, kind of like lay her forehead against your neck and just, you don't understand what she can do here. And Tilly flutters her eyes shut for a second, and the world around you changes to a beautiful, it's practically like the New Zealand Hobbiton set. Just this beautiful shire.
Stunning.
And for you feel the breeze. You can hear, crickets chirping. Everything about this environment is 100% real to you.
This looks like where she's originally from. I think blood starts to build up in the bottoms of her eyes, but she doesn't say anything.
And she kind of gestures around, and she goes, "You'll never be able to leave this place unless you find a mirror and break it. I know where it is. I put them here, but I wanted to show you that Eseme can do this too. The mirror's just over there." And she points to a little house, and when you look through the window, you can see like kind of a bureau with just a little dressing table mirror on it.
Seamstress takes Tilly by the hand, not like forcefully or anything, and starts walking over the gentle hills towards the house to break the mirror. Tilly.
Yes.
I haven't met this person, clearly. And I don't know if you remember this, but you asked me a favor.
I did?
Mm-hmm. You asked me to kill her.
I did.
And when I say something, it is the truth.
I won't ever lie to you again. I promise. You've been nothing but good to me, and I was afraid I'd lose you. Not proud of who I was, but by God, I feel like everybody here is just doing nothing but trying to make me play pretty and make me play nice, while everybody else gets to be these conniving, evil, wicked little people. And I gotta behave. I gotta behave because everybody thinks that because I'm a fucking Malkavian that I'm worse than the rest of them. They're just as bad as me. Maybe I did all those things. But what do you know that they've done that maybe they're not telling? We're all bad. They just think I'm worse. They think I'm worse because I'm not right. But let me tell you, Dot's done worse things. Alima's done worse things. They all have. And I don't understand why I gotta be the precious little kitten. Why I gotta hold it all in. Why can't I just go kill that fucking bitch right now? But if I do, they're just gonna lock me up again.
Seamstress, now, with her hand on the exit mirror, turns to Tilly. There's no world in which they will ever lock you away again, Tilly. If you can't kill her, I will. And if I cannot kill her, someone else will.
Thank you.
Of course. But please know. My friends and family always come first. And Gordon is very special to me. And Seam's grip kind of tightens as she kind of forces Tilly's arm to shudder, like under the skin, as she shatters the mirror.
And Tilly closes her eyes to nod, and the world around you falls like raindrops. And you find yourself back in your office. But a little more to the opposite side of the room.
My hand is against like a bookshelf.
Yeah. and Tilly just nods. She goes, I know, that's why I just put him somewhere for safekeeping. Mouse is a good kid. She won't hurt him.
Yeah, Mouse seems to really have a habit for collecting men, I've noticed.
Well, see, she was kind of abducted, I think is the right word. So she's got a real bone to pick with men like that. And that's what she does, is she traps them all in her little zoo, and then she just tortures them until she's done.
That's incredible.
That's why she looks so young. She's actually like, I think 20-something, 30-something.
When you're doing what you love.
It's probably the nicest thing Dot's ever done, was save that kid's life.
You need to rest. I'm going to go take care of my children.
Okay. I should at least probably go pretend to sleep for a little bit, because they'll blood hunt me if they find out I'm gone.
You know, her hand's on the door as she's about to close it, silhouetted by the hallway light. She says, I hadn't even considered that. Closes the door.
And you are free to head out, and we will go across the city to Ashton. Ashton, you have been able to successfully update all buildings that currently use metal detectors, meaning government buildings, the venues, the stadiums, any building involving a metal detector. Those models have been replaced with a metal and biometric scanner to detect anyone coming through without a heartbeat.
Delightful.
Okay, that's sick as... That's cool.
I hear inside my head.
And so those have been being implemented. They're in most major buildings now. Some of the smaller buildings, they'll probably be done by the end of the week. And the agent that comes in to inform you of this provides you with the full purchase order where they have been checked off so you can check the status.
Excellent. I just looks down the list. Make sure, just see if anything's delayed or...
Nothing seems delayed. It just seems shipments, opening hours. It's just taking longer because you prioritized places like stadiums, hospitals, government buildings. So now it's trickling down to smaller businesses. And your phone pings. Checking it, you see a message. And the message is simply a picture of your old office. And the text says, "So sorry to have missed you." And this is your old office at the Vatican.
Ashton's going to respond with, "Likewise. Perhaps we should catch up sometime."
You receive another text. A picture of the big ludicrous billboard saying "Welcome to Atlanta" inside the Hartsville-Jackson Airport. And it says, "How about lunch?"
Ashton, I guess, is on my way.
Okay. And you receive a pin for another Broken Egg Cafe. You're kind of in those brunch hours still.
Mm-hmm.
Are you heading over there?
Yes.
Okay. So as you head over, you head to the cafe. Cafe is full. There's people eating outside. It is noisy as hell. Why don't you roll me 5 dice. We'll consider this your wits and awareness roll.
This is the scariest grinder meetup I've ever seen.
It's fun. Somebody went, "Can I have you for lunch?" And then he just didn't fall for the blunder of he's lunch.
Okay, you said 3?
Mm-hmm.
So, you're looking around. You're not sure who it could be. There's a couple people sitting by themselves, but it's when the gentleman turns to look to the side. You see a face that you would have loved to leave in the past. A face that should be dead.
Does this face have a name?
Andrew.
This is middle of the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. Ashton's going to very slowly and very carefully approach
Okay.
and have a seat at the table.
And when you sit down with your 3, you recognize in the eyes that it's not Andrew. But it sure is a copy of him. And the guy looks almost a little scared. And he says, "You're Ashton, right?"
Yes, and you're not Andrew McDonald.
"No, but he's my boss. He wanted you to know that he's here. And that he doesn't give a shit about the Masquerade or your job."
Is that right?
"Please, sir, I'm just giving a message, please. Please don't hurt me."
I understand. I know that Andrew sometimes puts people in very difficult positions.
Yeah. You know how he is?
I'm very well acquainted.
I'm just supposed to deliver that message that he's in town. And he wanted you to know. And he said something about wanting you to comply with whatever instructions he sends you. Or he said he's gonna tell everything to some Leopold fella.
I see. Well, you tell Andrew that a lot's changed since we last saw each other.
And you see he pulls out a little notepad and he's like, his hand is shaking as he's writing. Uh-huh.
Tell him, I'd like for you to pass on a little biblical wisdom to him.
Okay.
Luke, chapter 14, verse 11.
What's that one?
Those who exalt themselves will be humbled, and those who humble themselves will be exalted. Basically, that's a very polite, old-timey way of saying that if he lets his pride get in the way of his better judgment, he will regret it.
Just put
Yes.
him out of his misery.
Yes, sir. Okay, I did order 2 really large breakfasts if you're still hungry. We don't have to talk. I already paid. The woman does bring over 2 very large breakfast platters.
Ashton goes, I don't have much of an appetite, but this is on me. And he takes out just a $100 bill and just sort of leaves it on the table. Just cover everything.
Okay. Thank you, sir. I'm sorry.
What's your name, son?
Johnathan.
Johnathan.
I just work at the Waffle House down the road.
Be careful, Johnathan.
I'm trying. Thank you, Mr. Ashton. And he's gonna go ahead and start eating. He's like nervous eating, just shoving eggs in his mouth, like to keep himself from talking. He's got like eggs, like on an entire plate of bacon, biscuits and gravy, pancakes.
Oh.
It's a huge feast, and he's just trying to not look at you anymore. He did his job. He's scared shitless.
Can I ask you something, Andrew?
Yeah.
How did Andrew cross paths with you?
He came into the Waffle House and he ordered a hash brown scattered, covered, and capped. And I told him, and then he seemed like he was having a heart attack, and so I helped him out to his car once he was feeling better because he said he was fine. And next thing I know, I look like this.
How long ago was this?
About a month. I've been running errands for him. I did hear him cuss to himself the other day that he was really impressed with everything you did, and it made him angry. He said, what was it? He said, God damn it, that son of a bitch is really good.
He has no idea.
Yes, sir. He's
Thank you, Andrew. He just pats him on the back very warmly.
And he's like, okay. Take care.
You too. He gets up, gets in his car. He heads back to his office and pulls up his files, and he starts looking for someone in the local vampire community who is a little diplomatic and probably has a bit more respect for him than the usual coterie members do.
The closest you would know to that would be one that works at a hospital that you happen to know is called Seamstress, due to her proclivity for assisting the LGBT community, especially with gender-affirming surgery. But it's probably a few hours before she wakes up.
Does Ashton have Seamstress's phone number?
You have her work email.
Keeping it professional.
Types it up, and he goes on computer, types up, says, need to meet, utmost importance, parlay, full diplomacy, basically just writing out in very kind of polite corporate speak that means no harm. He wants to just have a nice, quiet meeting.
Okay, and Seamstress, when you wake up that night, you will receive that email. But we're going to go to another part of town. Eseme, you've gotten up tonight. A wonderful night knowing that Tilly Harris is sound asleep somewhere in the city.
Yeah.
I really just want to not worry about her. That's the only thing.
Yeah. And so what are you up to tonight?
I think I'm doing a little detective work. I have two people that very near and dear to me that, well, one of them's a little closer than I think.
Okay.
But the other one, people have an aversion of talking about her. And I'd like to know what happened to her.
Okay.
But I think I'm going to start with this one.
Okay, and Talbot,
What?
you wake up the same time as Eseme in her head.
What's the last thing you remember?
And Talbot, for you,
Anton?
you would indeed remember Anton with a sword, as while in torpor you can still see and hear.
Yeah. He's still around?
I don't feel like I should answer that question.
I think you should.
Yeah,
Thank you.
still there. I want to figure out what happened to you, but judging from what I just saw, I'm pretty sure I do. No? At least who? Do you remember why? They said you went crazy, but
Come on.
I
You knew me.
did know you, and
Crazy is a weak accusation of people trying to steal power.
I never said I said you were crazy.
I know,
I
but
said
they're
they
wrong.
did.
I
Oh, I'm
belong
well
on
aware.
that throne.
You will not find me disagreeing with you.
Well, I guess by proxy that means you belong there too now, don't you?
Absolutely.
That's my girl.
Literally, I would take a brick over who's sitting in it now.
Who is?
It's I can't remember her name, honestly. It's kind of not worth my time. All you need to know is that I have her blessing to be here.
Ooh, okay.
But the point is, they don't know who I am or why I was kicked out. Kicked out. I was politely asked to leave by one Chantilly Harris. What they do know is that I'm a long-lost Tremere of Atlanta coming home from their long break in New Orleans. And I now have uninterrupted access to the Chantry, which seems lovely.
You're just a gem.
I know.
Unlimited access to the Chantry. You know the Chantry contains so much magic, all the Tremere power. There's so much power in that building. I would like for the two of you to make contested willpower rolls. Talbot, you will be rolling 10 dice against Eseme's 7.
See if I stay in my body.
Doubt it.
I have 1, 2. Ooh, that was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 successes. 2 of them were crits.
Okay.
Oh! 6 successes.
Unfortunately, that means Talbot is now driving.
But 2 of them were crits. Okay, it's fine. Johnathan.
It means you will get to stay conscious during
it's
all
fine.
of this. So you can now only witness whatever Talbot has now decided to do.
Is this what you feel all the time?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
Mechanically speaking, so she now is conscious, she witnesses it. Is it like the role reversal where now I can hear her voice in my head, but I'm
Yes.
driving?
Yeah.
Yes.
You're in
Delightful,
my
okay.
body, but you have
Just wanted
control
to make sure
over
there was still a dialogue.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
also now have this really gorgeous curvy body.
Hot damn. Oh, the power.
Slow down. I don't like men.
You also can feel that surge of Tremere power. You were never a Tremere. Tremere have this inherent connection with blood magic, and you can feel that.
Oh, and you knew
coursing
that I was a
through you.
witch. I was a mage before I was turned too.
Yeah. So you now have this new feeling of power.
It's been a long time since I felt something this big that I was unfamiliar with.
Oh, well, thank you. Right, so I'm assuming you're driving, so would you mind telling me where you're taking my body?
Obviously the Chantry.
Yeah, understood. Can you make me a promise, though?
Maybe. What do you want?
Just please remember you're using my body. Our plans are best taken care of subtly for now. And I think they would take notice of us if I stormed in there and staked the head of the Chantry. So I understand that you're in need of retribution, and I'm not trying to take that from you. But wouldn't you like it more if you paraded in front of him first? and then killed him. Rub it in his face a bit more.
We've got options.
Oh, more.
But if I just walk in there and remind them who I am...
But right now, you're not. Right now, you're me. And I'm a visitor.
I'm you.
Mm-hmm. If you need prompts, I'm happy to help. But right now, and this will change in the future, don't worry, but you're not Talbot.
How do we fix that?
Yeah, we're working on it.
Okay.
But right now, you're not. Let's focus on the present, shall we?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So if you need prompts, I'm happy to help, but...
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, your neck feels solid.
Yeah.
It's one piece.
I mean, there's a choker there, but, careful, that's antique. That was from when I was alive. It's my mother's, actually.
And so, Talbot, where are you going?
I can't drive, so maybe have a ghoul for that. There's a
Talbot knows how to drive.
I know how to drive.
There is a very nice black Chevrolet outside.
Oh. Okay. If you have any better suggestions.
My better suggestions is... Let's find out. Can I ask a favor? Friend to friend. You remember Cate? Please. You remember how I felt about her? I don't know how she died. Talbot, I want to know what happened to my girlfriend.
And Talbot,
All
why
right.
don't you roll 5 dice for me? As
Okay.
you... We're fighting the madness here, but you know exactly how Catherine died.
3 successes.
3 successes. You will remember... It's up to you if you say this out loud or not.
Mm-hmm.
That Catherine was a part of the Lost Childer program, and unfortunately, things went awry. These shepherds, as far as you saw in your report, had a clash with her. She was set on fire, had her heart ripped out, and was diablerized by Cyrus ibn Muhavara ben Yaftab of the Banu Hakim.
Here's the title.
Mm-hmm. You know him more colloquially as Cyrus.
I see why.
Yes.
I'll pass on that she was killed by shepherds.
The shepherds.
Mm-hmm. You don't need to know a little bit beyond that.
Talbot, I want to know who. Like, you want to know who, and you know who.
Make you a deal. I want to eat. Let me drive.
Fine.
I want to go kill someone.
Okay.
Would
At
you
this
like
point,
to pick from my herd?
It's... Oh, yeah, there's options.
Yeah, because you're
Easy
putting it in my
domestic, I don't
stomach.
care.
Please. I'm very picky.
Been
I have
dead
people-
for a while and just want to feel that heat again.
Yeah.
It's been too cold for too long.
They hang down at the local witch shop. Out back.
if you
bunch
can
of-
make it that far.
Can I?
Would be witches.
Why don't you... Let's roll me your willpower dice, which will be the same 10 since you're driving. Let's see if you can pass all these delicious potentials.
Yeah, I guess I can.
How'd you do?
Let's count them up.
No.
It's a lot.
It's easier to count how many you failed.
That's true. 2 blank. The rest are either crit successes or regular.
Okay.
3 crits.
So, while you're driving, the visuals of all these people in the city, it's overwhelming, but you can hold it together to get where you need to get.
They're mostly just dross anyway.
Yes.
I think I'm in the back of his head gun. Not worth it. Not worth it.
It's nice when we agree.
Oh.
But you are seeing some interesting things now as you're able to look through the city with your own eyes. You see a lot of buildings that say Ignatius Pharmaceuticals or sponsored by Ignatius Pharmaceuticals. And you see whatever this pharmaceutical company is, it's all over. And as best as you know, in Atlanta, the Second Inquisition really likes to hide in our medical system. So for you, this is a staunch reminder that this city has become infested without your guidance, without your strength. They've let these vermin crawl in all over the city.
It's not just them. Brujas at the airport.
They can wait.
Really? All of the anarchs that have a stronghold there?
Strong is a generous word.
Yeah, that's very fair.
Come on.
Don't worry, I kind of took care of one of their leaders. Kind of led him to Tilly's store.
Talbot,
We should
best
see
you
Tilly.
remember, Tilly's a sweet, quiet little painter.
Yeah.
Might have some questions about that.
She was the one... How about this? I'll make you a deal.
More deals.
I will tell you well, you were a Avenger, you deal in deals. It was your strong suit. That's how you became Prince.
I step on the gas.
I'll make you a deal. If you promise me, if you kill one of my herd, I really don't care. If they're not strong enough to withstand it, had it coming. If you promise not to kill anybody in the Chantry, kill. You can maim, seriously injure. If you promise not to kill anybody in the Chantry, I'll tell you everything you don't know about Tilly Harris. And there's some good stuff.
Weaponized curiosity. We'll see.
You will.
Sure. No killing? I can maim?
Maim, injure, no killing. And try and be subtle.
Okay. I take a nice look at the claws I'm wearing now.
They're very large. The main thing is that Tilly's not Camarilla. Hasn't been for a long time.
Talbot. Roll me 5 dice.
3 successes.
As you're stopped at a red light temporarily, you look to the corner across the street, down here in Midtown, and you see a familiar face. You see that beautiful La Sombra girl that you were blood bonded to. And there she is, and she's still just as beautiful as she ever was. So beautiful it could drive a man mad. And she's just standing right there.
Whoa. I know
Am I
what you're
red?
thinking.
You're at a red light.
Talbot?
Throws it in the park? What?
Talbot,
Unlocks
listen,
the door?
I love girls as much as you do. Do we really want to... Remember, Anton's at the Chantry right now.
Ooh. Hang on, you said I can't kill anybody. Does Anton encounter that?
You know what? I'm kind of thinking about it if it keeps you away from that.
And at this point, because you have parked the car, she looks right at you.
Yeah.
Who is that?
I don't even remember her name.
You don't. But you remember her as your Aphrodite.
Yeah, that doesn't matter, does it?
I mean, you could have worse taste in people.
I'm gonna get out of the car and walk up to her.
And here we go.
Okay.
You might not recognize me, but your prince is back. I need you to come with me, please. We have a night ahead of us.
Talbot, please.
Talbot? It can't be.
I'm gonna get a lot of that. Shut up.
What is...
Shh, come on.
Don't get me wrong. It's nice, but...
Nice.
I grab her hand and drag her back to the car.
And she goes very willingly into
Very
the car
nice.
with you and sits down and buckles her seatbelt, and she's just looking at you.
Talbot,
Just,
I want my body back for 5 minutes,
oh
please.
my gosh. I can't believe
something
it's
about it.
you.
Talbot.
I heard you died. Is that what this is all about?
Yeah, we're working on fixing that at the moment. Would you know anything about that, by the way? I
Your
got 2
death?
things. Well, any information there would be nice. I've got 2 things on the list. My own body. I mean, this is nice, but not for me.
Talbot.
Your body went to ash, love.
And any information on Anton.
The keeper of the Chantry? Oh, I avoid him at all costs.
I'm looking for the opposite of that.
You're in the body of a Tremere! Oh my god.
She just sees you staring off. She's like, okay.
I cannot be stopped on this giant plot that I've had for years because you want a booty call.
It might amuse you, my prince. You died in a werewolf club.
What?
Yeah, that tracks.
I got their janitor to give me a little gift, and she pulls a vile necklace out of her shirt that contains your ashes.
Oh, God bless.
I always keep you close to my heart.
Between her tits.
I don't even care about eating anymore. That was a novelty.
Mm-hmm.
I'm turning the car and heading towards the chantry.
Okay.
At least we can stay on track. Can I have my body back, please?
Do something about it.
Can I?
You can try and fight for control. You're 7 versus Talbot's 10.
Come on, I might fuck up. This could get interesting.
That's very true. I need to have a word with Johnathan about his dice.
Yeah, that is a couple.
Yeah, I have 2 successes.
Not quite.
No, it's fine.
How'd you do, Talbot?
More than
that was
more than me.
7.
Yeah. I fully expected this. It's fine.
Unfortunately, you are unable to exert your will to get your body back.
I'm not telling you how to use my blood magic.
I'll figure it out. Can I figure it out?
It took me years.
Try.
Sure. It took me literally decades and Tilly Harris teaching me.
Oh yeah, Tilly.
You promise not to kill
I changed
anybody?
the direction of the car again.
Okay.
You
Wait.
promise not to kill anybody? She was my teacher.
Yeah.
She taught me everything I know. Well, almost everything I know.
Where? Wait.
Well, we trained together for a long time.
This is assuming you can't teach me.
I can. But that wasn't the deal.
Right.
You taught me too well. She was my teacher, and I stayed with her for a while instead of with the chantry, while she taught me everything she knew about deprogramming Sabbat and scenting blood bonds and breaking blood bonds without people noticing, which you'll be happy to know that a lot of the coteries around here no longer have their ghouls. But
Turn to the bitch and ask her if she knows anything about blood magic.
And she just goes, a bit, but I have my own kind of magic. And you watch as these shadow tentacles grow out from behind her and wrap around her in this almost like she's making a little black dress out of shadows. She goes, you always did like these.
This fills me with glee.
Again, you could have worse taste in people, so I'm not... But again, we were on our way to find out what happened to my dead girlfriend. Love of my own life.
Oh yeah, what was his name?
Who?
Oh, sorry. The guy who killed the girlfriend.
Oh, Cirrus.
Cirrus, that's right. I'll pass that to you.
Yeah,
I'll throw you that bone.
I don't feel like going up against him without some sort of plan. I don't. As strong as you are, I'm not real in the martial prowess, and Bonnie Hakeem are not who I want to go up against without a plan.
Heading back towards the chantry. I've got ashes in my dead self. I'm sure I can figure something out.
Can I have a question?
What?
If you are in my body, blood magic, I know it's rather intuitive, uses blood. If you can get any from anybody, that would be great. The more the merrier. I can make not your own unless you want to hurt.
Okay.
Meanwhile, your lover is sitting awkwardly in the car as you just keep staring off and seemingly twitching as you're arguing with yourself, and she's just like, okay.
God, I can't wait to have my body
I think
back.
I've pulled, like, what, 3 U-turns at this point?
Yeah, she's just like,
It's Atlanta. It's not uncalled for.
Yeah.
she's like, he's back.
Anyway,
This is like assuring her that it's you.
Oh my god.
by
Nice.
the way, last thing about Tilly. She was the one who ran me out of town because she saw she taught me too well, which is a bit counterproductive.
Do
I
we
think-
need to hurt her about that?
No, I actually want to talk to her. Talbot, she's scared of me. Do you know what it's like having the Malkavian primogens scared of you? Oh, it's wonderful. We don't have to go see her now. We can go do your thing. You're the prince.
He turns around again.
Or not.
Where are you headed to now?
We're going to see Tilly.
Okay. And so you pull up to Tilly's house. You see...
Home sweet home.
So you're still, like, in charge. You just gotta manipulate a dumb bastard.
Yeah, and, I mean, here's the thing. Never mind. I'm not going to say that.
But you see a gentleman standing on the porch in a blue and gold kurta. Mid-20s, young Indian man with short cropped hair. Very finely done beard. And he is just standing on the porch, ever vigilant.
They know who I am. We might need to sneak in.
I'm walking towards the front door.
Okay. And you walk towards the door, and the gentleman holds his hand up and just, excuse me.
Let the prince pass, please.
Madam,
Oh, fuck.
I understand that,
Again.
I
kill him.
How are you choosing to kill him?
I want to terror start out. It seems
Okay.
direct.
Okay. Please, roll me... You are going to roll 4 dice. Eseme, please roll your blood dice.
How many? Just one? Because I'm at 1 hunger.
Yep.
Success.
Yeah, 2 successes and 1 crit success.
So just failed on 1.
Yeah, 1 fail.
Using those fancy claws that you have taken a shine to, you sink them into his neck, feeling that cold blood pooling on your fingertips as you rip his throat out on the lawn, and his body slumps and tumbles down the stairs of the porch, blood spilling all over them.
Unclear why they hire these people.
I know. It seemed kind of counterproductive. All right, on to
Inside
Tilly.
we
Her
go.
room's upstairs.
And you force your way...
That tasted awful.
You force your way into the house, and you see a gentleman in the kitchen, sitting at the kind of like breakfast nook dining table, eating a sandwich, and he looks up, and you see his eyes go wide.
Can I use blood magic from in here?
Talbot will have to make the blood magic rolls.
Look at him and imagine a thread between him and Tilly. Cut it.
Talbot, please roll me 7 dice.
Let's see how old he really is.
That's fucked. We've got 2
you can
successes.
use willpower.
Talbot cannot,
No!
as this is not his body.
Give me back. I can get rid of this guy.
All right. Well, I guess nothing happens on that account.
So he looks up at you, and his eyes widen. You imagine that string, and you can see Tilly almost like a small puppeteer through the ground below him, connecting them. But as you're staring at him, he's staring back at you, concerned as to why this staring has occurred. And he just goes, Eseme?
Give me back control. I can take care of him. Talbot, please.
Intense back and forth stare.
Talbot.
That focus, that squint.
You got a lot of
Nothing
nerve coming
happens.
here unless you're here to apologize.
Talbot, I can.
I completely ignore him and go upstairs. Wait, this is your friend, yeah?
In a split
Can I have it
second.
back, please, please, please? Please.
All right, I give it back
One
to
moment.
her.
Talbot,
Oh.
as you push past him, as you just continue on,
Yeah.
in a split second, you feel what feels like 2 vice grips around your shoulders as your shoulder joints are snapped. And you do not have use of your arms now.
Give me back. Give it back. Give it back.
And he goes,
Give it back.
Are you here for good or bad?
Talbot, don't break my body. Give it back.
Incredible violence.
Talbot, I can end him. Trust me.
I'm not listening to that at all. I'm too angry. I bite. Okay.
You're attempting to bite?
There's not a whole lot I can do.
You got A mouth and 2 legs.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to rail around and try to attack him. Yeah.
Okay.
I will say you do have heels on.
Good to know.
All right.
I'll go
How
no
are you
later with
choosing
that.
to attack him?
Same. Nice old reliable. Bite the neck.
Okay. Roll me 5 dice.
Please let that be a bad.
2 successes.
Do you need me to roll blood?
Roll your blood die. Let's see if you can add to it for him.
No, you can't. That was almost a crit.
So 2 successes
Mm-hmm.
beats his 1 success.
Yes.
Pussy.
And you bite into his neck. And something about you goes cold almost. You feel nauseated. The best you can assume is this is some kind of poison coursing through his veins.
Oh.
Talbot.
And he
Spit it.
grabs you by the hair and yanks your head back.
Give it back.
Headbutts
Give
you.
it back.
Nice.
Talbot, I
And
will
in
end this person
headbutting
while you
you-
watch.
And headbutting you as hard as he did, Eseme, you are now back in control.
I cut his bonds.
Damn.
The moment I come back. Do I remember his name?
You don't.
Stupid, insignificant little bastard. I cut his bond.
You cut his bond. You see him blink twice.
See how you do without Tilly.
And he turns his head and he goes, "Oh, you haven't been around long enough." And you see him open his mouth
Tilly!
to see extremely elongated fangs. And he grabs you by the chin and pulls your face close to his where you are incapable of looking anywhere but in his eyes. And Eseme, it's so nice and quiet. It's so calm. All that anger is gone. You're at peace.
But
Your
here's
head
the
is
problem,
full of
though.
gibbering.
Here's the problem, though. I hate calm. I want to put him in
You
a
can't
lab.
feel anything but calm.
Screaming, howling, and gibbering in her head.
I'm too.
And he goes, "You are gonna apologize." And he turns and drags you up the stairs by your chin to Tilly's bedroom. Holding your chin in a way where if you were to move, it will be crushed. And he goes, "I have waited so long for you to come here.
Oh, you know fucking nothing.
I know everything."
And who are you? I don't even remember your name.
Of course you don't, because you're so goddamn arrogant.
Oh,
You can't
because
see
you're
past your
fucking
own nose.
insignificant.
You can't see past your own tits. That's why Catherine's dead.
Can I try once again to break out?
You find yourself trying, and you can't. Something about what he has done to you has you almost paralyzed in a calm. As if you are just, think like those horrible Hollywood interpretations of post-lobotomy calm. That kind of feeling is what's keeping you from moving.
Is that affecting me as well?
You still have free, complete range.
God, I'm
In
throwing
her
myself
mind.
at the walls of the padded room.
Mm-hmm. And he stops at the top of the stairs, pulls you close again, and goes,
Go ahead, open the door.
"You want to talk to Catherine? Because you can. And I know how. So why don't you calm your fucking mouth? Because right now, I'm your goddamn savior." And he opens Tilly's bedroom door and shoves you inside, and you can do nothing but sit on the floor. You can speak freely, but your arms are broken and your body is still that paralytic calm.
While that's happening, I'm trying to heal.
Yeah. You can certainly roll to try and heal. We'll see.
So it's 5 with my blood?
Yeah.
Johnathan, we need to talk about your dice. 2 successes.
You wanna?
Yeah, I think I might. I think
Try that.
I might use yours.
Okay. And you find
I'm
and
coming for you, Lysombra.
and he shoves you in the room and he shuts the door and Tilly is just sitting on the bed like,
Chantilly.
what the hell are you doing here? What was that?
Your ghoul's a delight.
Oh, he's not a ghoul, honey.
I've discovered.
He's been my boy for years. He just fakes being a ghoul because it makes him look, he's less threatening that
fall
way.
into a trap.
I love it.
That's why you get the prettiest looking dog to be a security dog.
I'm well aware. You taught me that.
Of course, that's why I kept you around. You're the prettiest looking bitch I've ever seen.
I'm well aware. Thank you.
What are you doing here?
Apparently I'm here to apologize, but we both know that's bullshit.
I think you've got plenty to apologize for.
Apologize for what?
For abandoning us.
Apologize for keeping to your regimen. Apologize for being your best student. For treating you like a
being
sister.
a power-hungry cunt.
You were jealous.
No. I was
What else should
protecting
I
my daughter.
Apologize for what else? Keeping her safe? Look what happens when I left.
Yeah, you kept her real safe. You weren't even here for her.
We were bonded!
I know. She's safer without you.
Do you not know?
What do you think I don't know?
What happened to your girl? Tilly? What happened
Oh,
to my girl?
You want to start that fucking game with me? I was scrying on her when it happened. I was in her head. I felt every second of her body burn. I felt that bastard rip her heart out. I felt her soul get eaten. I felt every second of it. And it drove me mad.
Then I have a question. Why aren't we going after him?
Because it's the only way she still survives. She's in him. And I get to see her.
And what if I took her out?
You can't. You crazy fucking bitch, you can't.
What if I told you I'd done it with someone else?
And you see her look at you for a second, and her head turns.
Look at my
almost
head,
like an owl.
And
she goes,
impenetrable, my mind shield goes down.
No, she turns. Talbot, what are you doing in there?
Trying to find my way back.
Fix it.
Oh, honey. We do need you back. We need you back so much.
You don't know.
And I'm trying,
I've missed
Tilly. I used my whole body to bring him back.
You brought him back from...
And I can do it with Catherine. Please.
Catherine's not in the Shadowlands. She's not some ghost.
But I can do it.
This
Tilly,
is
please.
diablery. You
Tilly,
don't understand.
Please.
You
You know I can. If I can surpass you, I can do it. Please let me bring her back.
And blood is streaming down Tilly's face.
Please.
Eseme. It's not that easy.
You know I've never been one to back down on easy. Tilly, I loved her. More than I have anybody else in my... I haven't felt that since Grace. Since I was alive. I didn't know that kind of love existed for us. And I know you loved her too.
I need you to go.
Let me bring her back.
It's not no.
Tilly, please.
Let me think. I don't get that luxury anymore these days.
I can give it to you.
Just
I've started to think.
go for now. You're at the Chantry, right?
I can't be. I'm at
Where are you staying?
Lorian's place. Up at Lake Lanier.
I'll send word. Just,
Tilly.
I need to think, and I need you to give me the time.
Fuck
to
to
think.
Camarilla.
I know.
We've given too much to them.
I know. No offense, Talbot.
No.
It's not
We
the same
can do
without them.
something better. Much better.
Talbot did better for this city. You don't understand. Just let me think and we can talk when I'm okay. We can talk when I'm okay.
We'll talk when you're okay.
I'll send word.
I'll
Leave.
Talbot. Should we go?
Death is temporary. Not everybody can handle that easily.
Leave!
I'm out.
And on your way out, you see...
There's just blood pouring down my face.
You see her son just kind of smug grin, just watches you leave, closes and locks the door behind you. But as he goes to the door, he sees the ghoul and just kind of...
I hope you get a sunburn. And I go back to the car.
But you can see he sees the dead ghoul and just goes, that is not my problem. And shuts the door. And that is where we are going to take our break. We're going to get some water and stretch our legs. We'll be right back.
When I was young, my daddy said, gotta keep one eye open in your bed. 'Cause there's a time coming when the devil gonna come for you. So my trigger finger, stay prepared. I've got my weapon and I got my prayers. 'Cause if you don't run this town, they'll walk all over you. Run out loud, better run on. Run all day till you can't be found. Run out loud, gotta run on. Keep on running till the sun goes down. You can outrun the devil, but you ain't gonna outrun me.
And we're back. So why don't we start with at the hospital. Ashton, you have pulled up. There is a door with a buzzer to be buzzed in and clearly a camera pointed to the door.
Ashton approaches. He hits the buzzer and he looks up at the camera and he sort of pretends to sort of just stick his hands in his pockets, but really he's showing that there's really no sort of
weapon.
Holster, no weapons, nothing.
Okay, Seam, you hear the buzzer in your office and the camera flicks on. You can see Ashton is displaying no weapons.
Is he wearing what you're wearing?
Yes.
She'll buzz him in without saying anything.
Okay, and
Is it the twist is he's just a drug rep here on his daily scheme in the hospital?
so you're able to go down the hallway. You know that, and you can follow the signs. There is a sign for Seamstress's door, and you are in front of a closed office door.
Come in. I've already buzzed you in.
Sorry, didn't want to be rude.
Sitting on the
Steps
desk.
in
And you enter a
closes the door
room.
behind him.
You enter a room, Ashton, that looks like a regular medical office, but Seam, why don't you describe what furniture you have currently?
You don't have to.
But please.
So you open the door. It's actually very bright in the office. She doesn't like the dark that much. And sitting on a desk, which it's darker wood for sure. And it's a matching table next to a sofa that looks like a soft, like tan beige leather, I would say, if I had to guess. And periodically throughout the rooms, you can see like a mouth here, maybe a fingernail there, just speckled through different objects, different books, furniture. Sitting on the desk is a masculine form, wearing black pleather pants, a beige shirt that says a beautiful phrase on it, and
Forget the upside down cross. That's
Oh,
real
yeah.
important.
this is super important for you, Ashton. It's an upside-down cross choker, and above it is just the most beautiful face you've ever seen.
Nice.
And this masculine form is hot.
And
I'll say.
Ashton, you'll recall that Seamstress is a clan known as the Zimissi. They have the ability, much like the gentleman that you met today, to fully change how they appear, how other people appear. So while this is not the Seamstress you know, you are well acquainted with this trick.
Takes a look around, almost like he's kind of taking mental notes, thinking, like someone when you go over to someone's house and they're like, you're kind of like, ooh, this would be good decorating ideas. So he's kind of drags a finger across like a couch to see if there's any dust.
It giggles, because it kind of tickles.
Impressive.
Thank you. How can I help you?
Well, normally this would be the part where I make small talk, ask you how business is going, tell you about how much I admire the work you're doing, which I do, by the way, but there's a more pressing matter at hand. Tell me, does the name Andrew McDonald mean anything to you?
As a Missy that you've crossed paths with here and there, he's kind of a real bastard. But you haven't seen him lately.
Is he part of my family?
No.
Yes. Ashton, I do know this person.
I should clarify, he's someone you've come across with in your international travels. Just kind of, you enter a Kindred Society in Milan and you're like, there's that one guy.
I've seen that face before.
Yeah.
Who is he?
Oh, that bastard.
Yeah. He's got a reputation for being a prick. Have y'all dated?
That's putting it mildly. All you need to know about Andrew is that he's particularly vile. To put it another way, well, I didn't always do what I do. I used to be a desk jockey. Andrew's the reason I picked up the sword. That should tell you a lot. And
You mean Andrew's the one that, scarred your mortal experience to the point where you hate us?
sure, let's go with that.
So, in a hypothetical world where this creature does not exist, you would...
I'm a much calmer, much happier person, and I imagine a lot of you would be too as well. But
I am quite hungry.
I thought you should know, he's in Atlanta. And that's not just a problem for me. It's a problem for you and your friends. He's threatened to break the Masquerade, and as much as I would love that on some level, since that takes a few shackles off of me and what I can do in this town,
Me too,
I
Ashton.
don't think that would be a very good thing for any of us. So I'd like to extend an offer to you, and by proxy, all of your friends. I want the threat of Andrew eliminated.
Your kill list is just getting bigger and bigger.
If you were to do this for me, understand that I would be most grateful and willing to extend all kinds of favor and leeway into your activities. Granted, you couldn't get away with something like biting Mayor Dickens on the neck in the middle of a press conference that's on TV, but I will be willing to look the other way for certain offenses that I might not otherwise do. Now, if you bring him to me alive, then that gets you even more favors, even more leeway, because let's just say Andrew needs to be taught a lesson.
As
in
he's
contrapasso.
speaking, Seam, in this form, begins to slowly, as he's talking about deals and favors, Seamstress calmly stands, walks across the room, and sits extremely close to Ashton and gets very close to his face. Mm-hmm. What if I want you?
You bring him to me alive. Then yes.
This has been wonderful. Let me reach out to a few people, and I'll get back to you. Leave.
Nice seeing you.
Of course.
Walks out.
Okay. And Seamstress, now that he's gone.
I'm just gonna start hitting up people in the family. I'm gonna be like, hey y'all, this huge dick is really stirring up trouble in town. Please keep an eye out. Let me know as soon as someone sees him.
Why don't I roll and see if anyone in the family recognizes the description first off?
Perfect. Even if I can go through my office and get like an old book with a picture from one of the countries I visited of him painted, I'll take a picture of that the way that Jackson showed me how to take a picture on my new phone.
Yep.
And I'll send it.
You get a message back that says, I think I saw that guy at a Waffle House the other day. I'm sure I'd recognize him if I saw him again. We'll keep an eye out. What do you want us to do when we find him? And you start seeing like reactions in the group chat, like 100, 100, 100.
Oh, that's a tough question.
And someone says, what are your orders, mama?
Little ellipses. Send. Subdue him if you're strong enough. Save him for me.
And you start seeing gifs flooding the chat that are those kind of like gifs.
You mean like what that's gonna be?
Yeah.
She sends one back that's just a TV personality going.
Okay. The little closed hands. And everyone just says, on it. You get various like confirmations. The chat floods with like, sure, yeah, got it, on it. Looking, we'll get this. Don't worry, we got you.
I love my kids.
And in trying to find those old paintings, you find some information about him. You find that he very narrowly escaped being put to death by the Society of Leopold. And there is record, though, that as far as the Society of Leopold is concerned, he's long dead. But you know he's still alive. And you have notes from the last time you saw him that he bragged about escaping this young upstart.
She sits in her leather chair and ponders this for a second, and she's like, I don't... She pulls her phone out again. Texts the twink.
Okay.
Hey, so does your order... I'm starting that over. Ashton. Does your society know that Andrew is alive?
Sees the text.
Question mark.
Text back. It's off the record and need to know. Just sends that.
She sends a gift of, I'm gonna say Bonnie and Clyde for now.
Okay.
I should go check on Tilly, actually.
And when
Real
you
Don't worry about her.
when you
She's
stop
fine.
when you stop by her house, you go to the steps, and they have been washed but clearly are bloodstained. And when you look up, you see she has freshly painted a new coat of haint blue on the ceiling, as you know that to be an island way of keeping out bad spirits.
I feel like someone's going to miss him. Knock on the door.
And you see her son opens the door and he goes, "Oh, hey!"
Hello. Is Tilly here?
Yeah, she's in the dining room. She's painting.
Thank you.
Yeah, come on in. And he shuts the door and you go
So
in,
fast.
and very much skittering. And Tilly is on the floor, looking more like herself. She has small cups of paint and tubes and everything just strewn about, with like the paintbrushes meticulously being put back by color into separate cups so that she can reuse the same paintbrush. And she is currently working on a tile that appears to be a sewing machine with fabric of flesh.
Hello, Tilly. Who is that for?
Oh, this one was for you. I knew you were coming over.
You never cease to amaze me, Tilly.
Do you like it?
I mean, what isn't there to like? It's everything I love.
I have another one for you that's in the living room, but that was from when we first met, so it's like a Patrick Nagel. But this one I thought was more personal.
I prefer this one.
We should go to Paint Your Own Pottery sometime. I don't know how late they're open, but I think it'd be fun.
I'm sure I could rent one later.
That'd be so much fun.
I have a question for you.
Uh-huh.
Do you know a man by the name Andrew? Vampire. I don't remember his last name, Tilly.
Mr. McDonald.
McDonald. It was
Yeah.
close.
And she goes, "No, not familiar to me."
Well, I'm probably gonna end up helping kill him.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Do you remember Ashton?
Yeah.
So don't be mad, but this is a part of our new full trust, honesty thing.
Yeah, of course. And she like puts everything up around her. Trust.
I'm helping him hurt a kindred.
I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. I can't say nothing. I did very bad things. I did very bad things.
Listen,
Why?
because then he will be mine. If I
Who?
help him do this,
Who?
Ashton. I said I wanted him, and he said, get him me alive.
Is this like he's yours as in like a powerful ally, or he's yours as in like I'm gonna get some Torah details later?
Did
you clarify with him?
I did not.
Because he works for that one bishop. That one gay bishop. You probably should clarify.
I'll leave it ambiguous for now.
Okay, that's actually funnier.
I'd be curious to know what... He wouldn't go for it. I'm a kindred, and he's like
know.
super against it.
I don't know. I did make out with the Second Inquisition once. That was in my list of things.
Oh,
It's the part where I skinned the Second Inquisition and left their body, but we made out shortly before that.
okay.
I thought it'd be funny.
Was it?
Well, I kind of forgot the part where clearly his tongue was going to feel my fangs, and he started freaking out, and I just...
And your lips are, like, very cold, Tilly.
Well, yeah, he didn't really seem to mind that part, and that should kind of have been a red flag.
Hey, we don't know him, we don't know his story. But he was here.
He certainly was, and then he got de-socked.
Okay,
Look, he started freaking out and he started screaming. What was I supposed to do? It was Y2K. Things were going crazy back then.
We thought the world was ending.
I mean, it was for us.
Yes.
Well, I mean, for them. I'm sorry, it's about humor.
Well, I am not going to judge what you did as a Sabbat.
I should
I've
probably
done-
confess something real quick with our honesty and
Okay.
all. Trust. Don't be mad. I promise I got my good reasons. I ain't been breaking the blood bonds of any of the Sabbat lost child or except that young Pippa girl. And it's because, not to keep them Sabbat, so many of them, they're just... Seem, you understand, they're not Sabbat because they want to be. They're Sabbat because they were in the wrong place at the wrong time. And I just felt like they deserved to live their own life. I usually just tell them to put up with the school and then move out. Go live their life.
Is there any way I can tell if she's lying to me?
You can. Why don't you roll me? We'll call this Wits and Insight. Or you can choose to use Resolve and Insight.
How many dice do I use for that?
Let's see. For you, because I remember your sheet. I think I actually have it. So that for you is going to be 9 dice.
Remind me never to lie to you.
And then I've had a chance to eat since.
Yeah, you'll only have 1 die.
6 and up.
Oh, okay. So that's 2 crits.
Which turns into 4.
A success, and a success. So 8.
Yes,
And then a 2 on my hunger die.
that's fine.
Perfect.
So with 8 successes, Tilly is being completely honest. And you can tell from the body language, especially with an 8, this is the most relaxed you've seen her. Like, the honesty is coming from a very genuine place. She's not she's not nervous about being honest with you. She's actually like, sorry. Like, yeah, she's actually communicating very openly for the first time.
We'll figure out something.
Most of them don't live here anymore. It's fine. I don't know. It doesn't feel right. And that felt bad when I did it to the poor Pippa girl, but it was kind of a mix of, well, I made a bad decision. I thought I was helping Proctor because she was one of the Tremere. Proctor was really worried about her and worried that she was going to get herself killed, and I thought it could help, and it was the wrong kind of help. And don't tell nobody, Proctor and I have actually been broken up ever since. We kind of keep a brave face on. I still love her with all my heart, and she still loves me, but she said it's going to take her time to trust me again.
And I don't know whose side to take because I cannot be impartial because I don't like Proctor.
That's okay, not many people do. I mean, while we're being honest, she wasn't as bad as me, but she was bad in the final nights too, because she loved me, so she did a lot of really bad things.
Who
She was never
hasn't?
Sabbat. She just loved me.
Tilly, that breaks my heart. I'm going to have to go hurt someone to feel better.
Oh, there's these kids that they drive those damn Fast and Furious cars around here at night, and it's really loud, and it disturbs all the families on this street. If you want to get one of them, they should be here in about 20 minutes. They come at 9 p.m. every night.
What's the cars look like? Do you know if they're queer?
Oh, they're definitely not queer.
Oh, cool.
They're definitely not. Not with the way they dress.
Wonderful.
I think one of them drives a Supra.
That sounds horrible.
I just hear them yelling about it a lot. And one drives a Nissan Skyline, and one drives a Mazda RX-7. I have to hear them all the time, so I research the cars so that maybe one day I can just dismantle them. It's just so rude. There are small children living on this street.
You're right.
And those poor mothers, they don't deserve to put up with that. Children being woken up at all hours of the night.
Well, I'll just give them a warning.
Okay. Can I watch?
Sure. Take a seat on the porch.
And she, picks up and dusts herself off and goes out to the porch.
And Seam is just gonna go stand in the middle of the road and wait to see headlights going really fast.
Yeah, let's see. Why don't you roll me... Given your sheet, let's have you roll 8 dice.
Okay.
With one of them replaced with your hunger. Okay.
Okay. 3 successes, 2 crits, and a 3 on the hunger die.
So you see that Mazda RX-7 come whipping around the corner. You hear that car sounding like a bumblebee in a tin can. Just whizzing down the street. And with your successes, the car hits you and you are unmoving. As the front of the car wraps around you and the car flips.
Can I, as it's just crumpling around me, just reach out a hand and grab the driver?
You'll have to wait for the glass to shatter.
Yeah.
Because the car hits you, it does that turn, and then proceeds to flip down the road. But you can go to the flipped car.
Yeah.
And get the driver.
And I think I'm gonna activate.
Tilly.
I'm gonna activate horrid form as well.
Okay.
Just
in the middle of this street.
On the other side of the car so that nobody can see it, and it's really low key.
Just a low-key Eldritch horror.
Yeah. Because she comes up to the car and is like, oh no, someone got into a car accident. Puts her head down, and as she rotates her head, the horrid form is just the front of her, begins to fall and slop off.
Ugh.
Very wet sounding. And then she just reaches in at an angle that shouldn't be happening and just pulls him out very delicately. But his body is still stuck.
Oh no.
But his head comes.
Yeah.
Just gonna scare him.
She just
gonna scare him. A warning.
Yeah, as you pull him, you feel the body stuck as the console has crushed the legs. But what a pity.
He should have worn a seatbelt. She unclicks the seatbelt and pulls the head, places it about 50 yards away from the car, as if he had gotten into a crash with something.
Okay.
And because he was driving so fast, so late at night.
Yeah, his body was just flung from the car.
It's inertia.
Indeed.
And then she snaps back and then quickly makes her way, waving goodbye to Tilly.
And Tilly's just like,
And she makes her way away.
and goes back in the house. You see Tilly really quickly give a middle finger to the body and then sneaks back in the house, where you see a soft moment of her boy coming up and putting his arm around her and just kind of like kisses the top of her head and leads her back to her painting.
And then super speed back to about a block and a half away, probably, where I parked the car again. which is just an ambulance. So that's why I always park it far away, because it looks like an ambulance.
Yeah.
And then I will reach out to Ashton
Okay.
as soon as I know exactly where Andrew is, to let him know that I have a lead.
Okay. It will take you a couple days to get that information, so why don't we check in on our special duo?
I have a great time.
As
Oh, wait.
another day has passed, you have been able to heal your arms, and you've woken up this night. Talbot, you've woken up too. The girl that you brought back with you is asleep on the couch.
Is she fully one of us?
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. Eseme's cooking. I know I don't eat, but Claire does. And so I'm making, I'm gonna say I'm making etouffee.
Okay. Claire is happily awaiting that etouffee, and you see her walk in and just point towards the living room and go, "Who is that?"
Some La Sombra, that our wonderful prince picked up off the street.
Am I supposed to be nice to her?
For now.
Okay.
I mean, as nice as you are to anybody else.
Oh, okay, so standard.
Yeah, it
I
just
don't gotta be extra nice. Okay.
no,
okay.
no, you don't have to like roll out the red carpet or nothing. You can just avoid her for all I care.
And she slurps the coffee.
Darling, you know I
Staring.
love you. Dinner's ready. Eat up.
Oh, thank God.
So, I think Eseme's just... I don't have a cell phone because those are terrible. I do, however, have Miss Lorianne's rotary phone. And I'm sitting by it, like just kind of staring, and I have a coin that I've created myself just for funsies. It's very similar to one that somebody carries, and I'm just flipping it and catching and flip and catch.
And you
Flip
get
and catch.
you get messages coming through asking like, "What's a Methuselah?" And
Oh shit, that sounds scary.
yeah, and you get like just random questions, and to your
So my answer, honestly.
yeah, and you have no idea whatever Miriam has gotten herself into. You just know that
It has something to do with Canada and a Methuselah.
yes.
Fuck. They're screwed. Well.
And Talbot, you see this magic coin with like questions appearing on it that Eseme just kind of answers out loud, and then the question dissipates.
Watching quietly. He's pouting a little bit about being vested in the fight yesterday.
For now, I can hear you frowning. I don't even have to look.
I don't want to talk about it.
Okay. I'm not gonna ask about the coin. You're usually very interested in whatever fucking magic shit I have
I
going
don't
on.
want to talk about much right now.
Alright. Whatever you say.
You hear?
Fuck.
Still don't want to talk?
Forgot about her. Get rid of her.
Hi, love.
You said what?
Get her out.
I can.
Talbot, darling, I
Promise.
had a quick question for you.
Hi.
You're still driving.
Not Talbot.
For now.
Eseme.
Okay,
Leave.
is it possible for... Talbot's going to want to hear this. Is it possible for it to go through your brain to him, or do I need to
Leave.
wait for him to wake up?
You're a guest in my house. Leave.
You see, I have a lot of information about what happened to him, and I just want to know if he wants that information now.
Am I rolling? Don't look at me like that.
Yeah, you don't have to roll if you don't want to.
No, it's fine. I'm not using those dice.
Well,
Do you
count them up
yeah.
before you. I was just showing you how futile it was going to be.
Fuck, I'm screwed.
Yeah, that's.
Yeah, I'm not gonna tell her to get out.
2 failures. All
Okay.
right, so.
Let me roll for
Yeah,
funsies.
just for fun.
Just for funsies.
Let's see.
6.
Maybe...
Yeah,
Yeah,
no.
fuck you.
No. No, it's Talbot now.
So subconsciously, just kind of.
Ah!
fucking... God damn it.
Oh, there you
Sorry,
are.
she was being really rude. I don't know why she behaves the way she does, but...
You
bastard.
You were saying, you know about... me.
Yes. You see, I think everyone tries to convince you that you were mad. But... well, I guess in fairness, our little plan kind of went awry at the end. And it did make you a little mad, sorry.
Ask her what she means by our little plan.
Do you recall our plan to replace that whole mess of a Primogen Council, my love?
Pieces. Yeah.
We had them replaced real good until Falcon got all upset about it. The only one we didn't lock up. That pity I don't think you should repeat. But Falcon got upset at the party. You told her our plan because you got mad. And she staked you right there in the party in front of everyone. You see, our plan, just in case, because I've heard if you die when you're crazy, it kind of keeps you crazy.
Okay, no, you... crazy. You're jumping on the bandwagon.
No, dear, I'm saying when our plan went awry, it did affect you a little bit.
What exactly affected me? You were on a very thin ice right now.
I understand, my love.
No, keep going.
Your temper has always been the most attractive part of you.
Oh, I'm so easy to manipulate.
Yeah, you are. Do you need a cold shower?
So, you were bonded to me, and we decided it actually would work a lot better if you were bonded to this cohort of mine, a Malkavian, who had these very extreme powers. She was some kindergarten teacher or whatever at
I do remember this.
at that puppet museum. She was so weird.
Anybody
But anyway,
who works there.
we convinced her to help you because obviously you're the prince. Who doesn't want to help the prince? But it turns out she was a little more than we bargained for. And you started acting really out of sorts. And then when we tried doing our plan, you got kind of messy about it. And then I didn't expect you to actually tell Falcon what we did, let alone in a room full of people. So I ran. I just got back like last year. And I found out you were gone.
You left and let everybody think I was crazy.
Talbot,
No.
she's told you all you knew.
I left because that was the other part of our plan, my love. You were going to replace the Primogen Council, put a puppet prince in charge, and then you and I were supposed to run off together.
You and I.
You really?
I don't remember much at this point. I remember little things like blue flashing lights. I remember little things like loud music and people laughing that sounded like dogs barking and everything was wrong and broken and I was by myself. You and I. Pieces are missing.
Talbot,
I understand.
she left you. You really want her to stay here?
I-
Crazy, I'm just pieces.
I understand. And from what I understand of the Shadow Realm, they did not let you get back to yourself. I imagine this entire setup will get you back to yourself. No offense, you're much more attractive than this, but
I know.
if it's helping, it's helping.
Get her out of my house.
But my dear, I left and I waited for you. I waited for you at our meeting place where you said if everything went sidewards that I was to wait for you, and I waited for 2 years.
Talbot, you really want to believe that this woman convinced you to give up your power as
This
prince?
is...
We were supposed to...
Talbot runs. He says, you deal with this.
All right.
He does not want to be here. He's feeling cornered.
And she's still talking. She was like, we were supposed to... You said we were gonna take over Portland together. I waited for you for 2 years.
Honey, no offense.
Oh, he's gone.
If I can give you a little piece of advice for your own life, for however long you survive, given your track record.
Is it how to wear 3 layers of makeup at all times?
No, but it is never put your full faith in a man.
Hey now.
Here's the thing. You clearly don't know Talbot then. I'll take my leave. And she gets her jacket and leaves.
I don't like vermin in my house anyway. Talbot, can I? Oh, come on, just a little bit. Can I make her hungrier?
Stop it. I want to deal with 2 of you at the same time.
We're working together. I'm here for you. Tell me what's on your mind.
That little prick from yesterday.
Eseme, now that you have full control of your mind again, a detail she mentioned sticks with you. Catherine worked at the Puppetry Arts Center. She loved it there. She loved the Muppets and Jim Henson. It was her favorite thing in the world. She had every movie memorized. And when she was scared or sad, she would recite it, word for word, with all the theatrical direction. Your favorite was Muppets Christmas Carol. And she would even change her voice to mimic the different Muppets. She wasn't good at it, but she tried.
Didn't matter.
And she taught the summer camp education course teaching kids how to make puppets and the history of them and instilling that hope in kids that one day they could be their own Jim Henson. And that means at one point, Talbot was bonded to Catherine. And that's what drove him nuts.
Those puppets are fucking terrifying.
And Talbot doesn't know that you know.
Talbot, I think we need to find you a body as soon as possible.
Again, we agree on something.
Would I know of any blood magic of putting a soul into something? How to make a homunculus? Whether from blood magic or from my mage days.
You would not know of anything particular. You don't have the answer right there. But you've heard tell of some clans that might have that ability, particularly Elder Hecata. They deal more with the dead, and they might be someone who might have some answers on ghosts and possessions.
They are thick as thieves, and one of them doesn't like me already.
But if you could get a Hecata on your side, all you need is an avatar.
I need Tilly to answer me. I need allies here. She's made a mockery of my name, and it has made me the bad guy, and I need allies. I need a Hecata. And I can get you a body. You hear me? No more driving back seat.
Yeah.
Work with me on this, please.
Yeah. Okay.
And you won't have to share the throne. I don't want it. I want you there. I need a Hecata on my side. And I need to find one fast.
No place to start?
I do, but not that family. They don't like me. I need I need allies higher up. Maybe Denise.
Anywhere's better than nowhere. Come on.
Promise me you'll play nice. They let some of the werewolves onto the gangrel property. I don't like it as much as you don't. Let me just speak to the Primogen. Clea?
Yeah.
You drive me
She's
down.
3/4 of the way through her etouffee.
Once you're done, will you take me to Denise again?
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
All right. She goes back to eat. And she finishes in due time, and you are able to head out to Denise's. The compound is just as raucous as it always is.
I avoid touching however much I can.
And Talbot, this is a sight that almost brings you back to yourself for a moment. This was a plan that you and Denise had concocted together when you first took power, that the gangrel were having a difficult time adjusting to the city, especially the young ones. And you were there with Denise when she purchased this home and this property. And you were there to install the first houses with her, to give the gangrel a place to live that was all their own. And you get a flash of a moment of the man you used to be. The man that was so revered and admired for your vision, for the hope that you had for this city, for how much you were willing to look the other way on things as long as it brought people together.
Imagine Talbot's kind of a white noise in your head. And when that flash hits, the white noise goes dead for a second. And 3 beats, and then it's just like this whine, this screech.
You have something to tell me?
No words. It's back to that kind of like the day before when he was injured and couldn't do anything about it. It's this like a wounded animal noises. And it tapers off eventually.
Tinnitus. Just bad.
It goes away and he's quiet again, back to that white noise.
Well, if you want to talk, I'm here. Can't go nowhere else. Denise!
Yeah, what's up?
Hi.
Oh. Hi.
Something wrong? Usually a lot more happy to see me.
I usually am. Things have been nuts since the graduation.
Right. Do we know?
We're still missing a few. I apologize for my lack of enthusiasm.
No, it's perfectly fine.
I keep
I'm so
hoping
sorry.
when I hear a voice that one of them maybe made it out and is finally coming home.
I'm so sorry, Denise.
Shut up. It's all right. What do you need?
I was wondering. You're high up. You're a friend of mine, right? You'd consider us friends. I mean,
yes,
I know
this is starting to sound like a favor.
That's a terrible way to start a conversation. I'm just going to chime in right here.
Oh, look, he's up.
Can't help it when I see idiocy.
What kind of favor do you need?
I need a Cate.
There's a few of those, but not many around.
Listen,
Are you looking for the Rossellini family?
No. Sorry. No.
Okay.
One of their members. Amari, was it?
Oh, yeah, that's that one young kid.
I don't think he likes me much, and if Cate talk to each other, I'm sure the rest of them don't like me. They're pretty
I don't know
close.
how much of his family he keeps up with, but yeah.
Are there any other Cate families in town? I haven't been here in a while, remember?
Well, werewolves kind of saw to eradicating that.
Right.
There might be a couple. I've got someone I can ask.
Lovely. I'd appreciate it a lot.
Yeah, I'll check with her. I think I see her tomorrow.
Who is it, by the way? Sorry, still getting acquainted with faces.
Oh, just a human friend.
Oh, Interesting.
Some of the humans around here, former ghouls, Talbot way back in the day declared that even if you were no longer a ghoul, you were still under the protection of the city. So
He did. I didn't know that.
Well, only the high-ranking ones, not the little ones. But like, if you work for somebody for like 100 years, we should probably still be nice
probably
to
be
you.
nice to them. Yeah, no, I understand that.
I do stand by that one.
No, I agree with you.
So we have a couple old ghouls that
Fair enough.
probably they might remember a name or two.
Right.
But she's coming by tomorrow to help me with some maintenance around the house. So I'll ask her.
Lovely. And I'm gonna keep my ear out. See what I can do about your missing kids.
Thank you.
Of
I would
course.
really appreciate that.
Of course.
Here, and she'll just like pull out a little scrap of paper and she just writes down names and brief descriptions of 4 of them that are missing. She goes, here, just if you see anybody, just let me know.
Of course. Right away.
Thank you.
Of course. Y'all have a nice day, okay?
You too. Take care. I'll let you know as soon as I hear something.
Thank you, Denise. I get in the car, and as soon as we drive away, I crumple the piece of paper and throw it in the back seat.
Great.
Ta-da! Friends. I'd still like more, but friends. As far as she knows. Anything you want to do? You've been awfully quiet. Before you take control. Might I know?
That's not the point right now.
And what is?
I'm getting pieces of 2 different people. And mixed with the stream of consciousness from you, I feel like 3 individuals crammed into a very tight space right now.
Oh, that's why I'm working hard to get you out of mine.
I don't...
What's wrong?
I don't think I'm okay to be in control right now.
Okay. You don't have to. But... Sorry, I'm kind of used to you running off doing your own thing.
Me too.
Talbot, another flash hits you. Just a memory. You're sitting in a room, all the Primogen together, and you guys are discussing writing the papers of incorporation that would become the Renasherie Camarilla, a name you chose because it meant a reinvention, a rebirth, the theme of Atlanta, rebuilding from ashes. In fact, that's a great name for it, a founding in the ashes. And you recall debating back and forth, arguing with each other respectfully over what was the best way to take care of everyone. Because after the final nights, God, there was almost none of us left. How everyone clung like barnacles to a ship, just trying desperately to make it to port together. And you, begrudgingly, with the encouraging of all the other women in the room, taking the role as prince. As they said, no one will fuck with us if you're our prince, and we would all follow you to the ends of the earth. And you come back to yourself.
Desmond, I don't want to do this anymore.
That was quick. What's wrong?
Dead silence.
And Eseme, the silence in your head right now is almost deafening.
Fun. You promise to shut up when we go someplace? Please? I will get you out.
Give the psychological impression of a nod.
I go to the chantry.
Okay. And we're going to go back to another part of town. Eseme, you, after a few nights, get a text back with a picture of a man who matches the painting you sent. And he is sitting at, I've lost the name of the bar, Mondo Zombie. Sitting under the neon, and it says, "Hard to tell in this bar. I think this is your guy. He's been coming here every Thursday." And the picture is clearly like from behind the bar, so it's one of your kids that works as a bartender.
She replies trying to be cool with like a thumbs up emoji, like a big wink emoji, and then like the devil smiling face emoji.
I fucking love her.
We all do.
And then she will text Ashton and say, "I know where he is," and send him a location.
And you get a location of the Mondo Zombie Bar.
Ashton texts back, says, "You two are familiar with each other, correct?"
She starts typing, and she's got her sound on, so it's that like popping sound.
Like, oh fuck.
And then she types, or she presses down the backspace and just eradicates everything she just wrote and presses call.
Yes.
Hey,
Hi.
so I don't know him very well. I know him in passing. I've seen him at like parties and stuff.
What I mean is if you were to, say, sit down and initiate conversation with him, he would recognize you and recall those times.
Probably. I'm not going to tell you that.
Fair enough.
I just wanted to know if you wanted to come pick him up with me, or if you just wanted me to do it by myself.
I do, but we'll need confirmation that it's him, not just someone made to look like him.
Well, if it's not him, then we're both at a bar.
Fine.
Okay.
Speaking to he is basically a child to me.
Yeah.
Ew.
Yeah, Ashton's practically a toddler to you, given your potential age.
Bible thumping toddler.
He actually could be my exact age. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed.
And then I will put back on rave guy at 7 a.m. skin again, and then head to the bar.
Okay. So you both arrive to the bar. Ashton, are you dressing in any specific way?
It's full rave gear.
Question. Given my own abilities, can I,
You can, actually. You can essentially disguise yourself as any nondescript person.
All right.
What?
Though it will be an illusion, so if he can see through those, you understand that's a risk you are taking. Though you have no knowledge that he can see through them, you just understand the risk of illusions.
Well, question, if he saw me putting on an illusion, would he know, that I'm doing that, or would you just see through it, nothing?
He would just see through it. He would see the illusion itself, but then kind of like a bad 3D effect. He would see real you underneath it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's gonna show up, theme to the place, kind of Hawaiian shirt, but nothing too loud or anything,
Little vaporwave Hawaiian
little
going on.
vaporwave, yeah. Looking a bit younger, like the actual clientele, not some 40-year-old virgin.
And Seam, when you walk up, you get a glimpse of Ashton, and you can see that he has an illusion, and you can see real Ashton underneath it.
Dressed still in a suit.
No, the outfit is the same, but it's just the face has been
Illusionary
changed,
Hawaiian shirt.
which is new to you. As far as you know, Second Inquisition doesn't have this kind of power.
She has a real quick line of thought of What creature did you steal that from, bitch? Because she thinks back to when he used horrid form.
Yeah.
And she still feels a certain type of way about that. But she doesn't, like, acknowledge him or anything like that, but instead, in her little goth boy form, will approach Andrew and sit across from him at the table.
He looks up and you see this man go, hello,
Hello, McDonald.
do I know you?
Take a whiff. She holds out her hand.
And catching on, he smirks and acts like he's kissing your hand for the audience around, but goes, oh, Seamstress, it's been a while.
It's been so long. I heard a rumor that you were here.
Is this one of your little pets you keep about?
Oh, yes.
Nice to meet you. Please, have a seat.
Oh, thank you. I was wondering, what brings you here? And unannounced.
Oh, I already checked in with the prince.
Correct me if I'm wrong. This man is a Zemisi, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. And how close are we to my hospital?
You're probably about 20 minutes, 45 minutes with traffic.
Enough to claim it as...
Domain?
Mhm.
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. I checked in with the prince. That's the only protocol I was informed of.
Her form, like, as this little goth boy, suddenly changes as the, like, shoulders get slightly broader, and looking up, the eyes are just black.
He goes, oh, Seamstress, the lenticular puzzle that you are.
Why didn't you at least inform me you were coming?
I didn't realize you lived here. I haven't seen you in, God, what has it been? It has to have been since at least Madagascar.
Yes, you're right. I don't like talking about Madagascar, Andrew.
Oh, of course not. No, I'm just in town visiting. I have an old friend I wanted to check in with.
Well, perhaps I know them.
You really don't.
The eyes cut back to the blue of the goth boy, and then makes a very deliberate eye cut, looking him up and down, and then no eyebrows, form into a question mark face of, okay, whatever, Andrew.
But it is great to see you.
Of course.
It's been so long.
And I would be a rude host of territory if I didn't invite you to come see mine.
Oh, this is your territory. Look at you. You're doing good for yourself. I wouldn't have imagined you putting down roots.
Roots. I just like it here for now.
And this one's
Oh,
kind?
in a way.
Got it. Hands off.
Yes, I would appreciate that.
Of course.
But
wouldn't
I
dream.
do have to tell you, I have a couple new additions to my collection.
Oh.
They're exquisite. If you wanted to perhaps come enjoy a drink in my offices.
I'll likely do that before I leave town. I'm probably going to be here another month or two.
Perfect.
I have a very busy schedule, but I will, of course, make time for you.
I don't like him.
Same.
Do you want to roll composure and resolve?
Yeah.
That's going to be 6 dice for you.
You're going on a really nice face journey. It's very fun to watch.
So that's 2 successes and a 2 on the hunger die.
You're holding it together, but he can kind of tell the stank face that's twitching on your face a little bit.
Well, it was lovely seeing you.
It was lovely seeing you, too.
We're going to enjoy ourselves. We'll be here for a little bit. Come dance with us if you wish.
I'm not much for the dancing kind, but I think I am going to sample that little bartender over there. She's adorable.
Oh, perfect.
I already caught her trying to sneak pictures of me. I think she's into me, so.
Oh. Go for it. And
You have fun with this.
Oh, I will. And she puts her rather short arm in comparison now to Ashton around Ashton and ushers him to the dance floor.
Okay.
Where
And Andrew's completely lost attention in you. He's just now he's making eyes at the bartender and he's just kind of kicked back. He pulls out a Kindle and proceeds to start flicking through, reading.
I'm dancing on the dance floor up against Ashton.
Okay.
Man.
And then once the music changes slightly, Seamstress flips to Ashton, gets very close, and then texts the bartender and says, "Go to the alley."
Okay.
And then, "Hey, do you want to jump him in the alley and take him back to wherever you want?"
Yes.
Cool, let's go.
And you see her kind of look at the guy, kind of make eyes at him, and she just sort of does a little point towards the door that leads down the stairs to the alley.
And I'm making my way there as fast as possible, and secretly, trying to make it.
You're trying to get there first to hide?
Yeah,
Okay.
I want to try and get there before she even comes out into the alley so that I can be ready to just straight up grab him.
Okay, and Ashton, are you following?
Yes.
Okay.
Don't do the burning air thing. That hurts.
I can't make any promises, but I'll try.
Continues walking. At the no promises, the heels slid against the ground to stop, and then I'll try. Continues walking.
And then you're able to hide pretty easily. There's a bunch of dumpsters in this alley. And
Here, Ashton, get in the dumpster. Hide in the dumpster. I start taking pictures. Cool, you'll be good. Hide.
for you, these are just pictures of some random guy in a Hawaiian shirt in a dumpster. And
Still good.
Trust me, it's Ashton.
and you're crouched down behind the dumpster, and from behind you you hear an unhoused person go, "You about to jump somebody?"
Oh, you should leave. You should leave right now. Very quickly.
Is it gonna be bad? I kind of want to watch. If you're really gonna beat somebody up.
Can I,
Does Ashton hear this?
Yeah.
All right, he peeps his head up from the dumpster and says,
Oh,
I have $200 here. If you leave now, it's yours.
done. And he takes it and leaves.
Smart. Money is the best superpower. Next back down.
Okay, Batman.
real quickly, just the lips of Seamstress. Hey, my hospital's looking for extra funding. Just putting that out there.
I'll consider it.
Actually, I changed my mind. She's crawling under the dumpster.
You would know that Ignatius already has a relationship with the hospital, so.
I know.
And
Take a look at
so
this quarter's budget.
she comes out with him, and they start making out in the alley. But she's doing it to where she kind of peeks while kissing him to check for you.
Yeah.
And turns so that his back is to you. And she's wide-eyed the whole time,
Yeah.
when are you gonna do this?
It's before they actually make contact as she's pinning him to the dumpster,
Yeah.
putting him up against it. My arms break out and grab him and pull him down as I begin to try and subdue him.
All right, let's make contested strength rolls. For you, that's going to be 5 dice. It's strength and brawl. So for you, it's 5 dice.
I do have a few pips in brawling.
Yes.
I'm very good. Wait,
Kick his ass.
replace. I just replace.
Wow. Okay.
Come on,
Okay, so
see.
that's it. Oh, that's 3 successes and a 3 on the hunger die.
So, as you are holding him, the girl jumps back to get out of the way.
Thank you.
Your arms do sink into him, and he grabs onto your back, long claws growing into and around your spine as he goes to flip you over him. But you're a bit quicker. And as your spine is now sitting outside of your body, your arms and hands grow longer to remain hooked into him. And Ashton, you are seeing this horrific display in front of you, but he's trapped. And you can easily, from this vantage point, as he does not know you're behind them, you can stake him if you so choose to put him into torpor. And so the stake goes through, and from your contorted upside down vantage point seam, you watch as his eyes sort of glaze over and he slumps onto your hands.
Because he can still hear and see me, right?
Yes, he can.
Just get real close to his face. And I whisper in his ear, "You've always been a fucking dick. I can't wait to see what you look like as a chair."
Oh my god.
And you can see just like his eyes have that sort of you could tell that he wants to scream out of anger. Like they're just twitching and they're bloodshot. And he slumps down.
I retract my hands and fingers out of him.
Drops the Hawaiian shirt, and like in the disguise. Yes. Thank you for that.
It was my pleasure.
I know that I'm not always fond of your kind, but I am incredibly grateful. He kind of nudges Andrew's body and says, "Becoming a chair is too good for this one."
What do you suggest?
He's about to learn the meaning of the term contrapasso.
And that is where we are going to leave this for tonight. Thank you all so much for joining us. Thank you, wonderful guests, for showing a little bit of what's happening in Atlanta while our coterie is away. So take care of yourselves and each other. We love you very much. Good night.